a cold open in which we see the pink guards loading dead bodies in gift-wrapped boxes into a crematorium. Squid Game rejoins its surviving players, including Gi-hun, his supposedly wealthy acquaintance Sang-woo, the pickpocket, the gangster, the immigrant, and the elderly man. They and their other players are given the stark and unexpected option of leaving the game alive, but without any money. If a majority of them decide to leave, the games will finish and they will be able to return home. An ostentatious exhibition of the prize money already amassed. 100 million earned multiplied by 255 dead players equals 2.5 billion. Brought the votes closer than they may have been otherwise, but in the end, it came down to the elderly man. Competitor 1, delivering the deciding vote in favor of resigning. That was unexpected, but once everyone has been returned home in a rather unceremonious manner, based on what we see of Gi-hun and the pickpocket, they're just dumped out on the street in their underwear, with their street clothes deposited beside them. We begin to understand why so many of their fellow players voted to keep the games going. Simply put, most of these people's lives on the outside are a miserable horror. Hell being the episode's title, we assumed it was referring to the game's slaughterhouse atmosphere. However, the real intention was to show how the real world is an even worse hell than the Squid Game. Most of the people have nothing out here and are suffering so miserably. That is where the real hell is. The first thing Gi-hun does after coming back is rushes to the officers and tell them everything that happened. They are skeptical of his unbelievable story, particularly after the business card he provides them leads to a wrong number and subsequently a disconnected line. After that, he runs into Sang-woo, who tells his story of being in the Squid Game. Most of the people are in debt and the allegedly rich guy is actually in debt. Sang-woo informs him that he is 6 million in debt. That is why he decided to participate in the game, to fix his life. Later, Gi-hun then learns that his mother has been admitted to the hospital with advanced diabetes, but she refuses to be treated, even if it means her feet will have to be amputated. She can't afford the hospital stay. Gi-hun terminated her insurance, and she's the only one of the two of them with a job. The pickpocket, number 67, looks for her younger brother, who is in an orphanage until she can get their parents out of North Korea. This is easier said than done, given that the broker she engaged to complete the transaction has vanished with her funds. She threatens the person who linked her to the missing broker, but this does not result in her money being returned. Ollie, number 199, the immigrant, is likewise dealing with an untrustworthy authority figure, his boss, who refuses to pay him despite the fact that he is clearly wealthy. After a fight in which the boss's hand is pulped by heavy machinery, it's a gruesome scene. Ollie takes the money and flees, sending his wife and child back to their homeland while he works out what to do next. Gi-hun, number 101, a gangster, reunites with one of his criminal underlings, only to be sold to armed goons from a Filipino casino where he racked up a small sum in debt and failed to pay. He kills the traitor and jumps off a bridge to escape. Sang-woo, number 218, an ostensibly wealthy man, assists Ollie in returning home. He staggers back to his own apartment after his experience with Gi-hun, where he soaks in his bath in full suit. He discovers that he is being pursued by a phalanx of debt collectors and officers. Several of the latter show up at his mother's kiosk in his and Gi-hun's old neighborhood, demanding that he would surrender. They tell his mother the truth, that he is actually a criminal and not studying in the United States. His mother is so shocked with the truth that she at first just refuses to believe the police officers. Later, we see a scene of Gi-hun getting an offer from his ex-wife's current husband. He is offering Gi-hun money for not visiting his daughter any longer. He punches the guy right in front of the poor kid. Gi-hun runs into the elderly man who participated in the Squid Game. The old man makes a stunning revelation as they enjoy a beer and some ramyeon noodles, which is about all either of them can afford. He's going back to the games, which the pink men had claimed would be an option for the participants if they changed their minds. Everything they said is true, he says, referring to those players who wanted to keep playing the game rather than face the real world again. The real world, it's a worse hell out here. As a result, we watch as all of our key protagonists wait to be picked up and dosed with sleeping gas once more as they return to the unknown site where the games take place. However, this time it is not as according to plan. There are only two complications. The pickpocket held her breath and is only pretending to be asleep in order to learn the location of the game's facility, while a plainclothes cop named Hwang Jun-ho, who was the only one at the police station who believed Gi's story, tails Hun's the van to its destination after a similar business card appeared in his own missing brother's dormitory. Subscribe if you would like to see more videos like this.